Mongolia is a country of the monuments of ancient culture and architecture. Buddhism in the form of Lamaism or the Yellow Faith started to spread widely in Mongolia at the end of 16th century. It caused the again extension of the construction of monasteries and temples. The monastery of Choijinn Lama is a masterpiece of the architecture of 19th to 20th century. It was erected by Mongolian architects in 1904 to 1908 in the honor of one of the influential lamas, Lobsang Khaidu, the 8th Bogd's brother. The monastery was acting till 1938. According to the decree of the People's Choral at 13th of November 1941, the monastery was included in the list of historical and cultural monuments of the first category and taken in charge of Committee of Science, and in 1942 it was turned into a museum. The museum is a whole ensemble of the Buddhist architecture and consisted of 5 temples and 5 arcade gates. The works of the national clever masters of painting, casting, carving, Mongolian silk applique, embroidery, sculpture of the 17th, beginning of 20th century are of a great interest for the investigators. The temple are 2-tiered pagoda-like building with turned-up roofs of the 4 slopes, on the crest of which are zoomorphic images conveying fairy tale and mythical symbolic.
How do you do for everybody? I am Hanbin Purub Doktor, the director of the Choijinn Lama Temple Museum. Our Choijinn Lama Temple Museum is built 1904 to 1908. Choijinn Lama Lobsang Khaidu was Mongolian most influential Tibetan secret tantric monk. He was born in Shala in Tibet, but he was the brother of the Mongolian last king. Our museum consists 5 gates and also 5 temples. All of cultural heritage is more than 6,800 cultural heritage objects. So I have to say that please come to my beautiful blue sky, open stepped country, which is the Mongolia. And also please come to Choijinn Lama Temple Museum. I'm really saying that if you come my museum, you can to know what is the meaning of the Mongolian sacred Tantra Buddhism, what is the meaning of the Mongolian cultural heritage and tradition, what is the spiritual minds in Mongolia. Thank you very much. Please come and come again.
On entering this temple, the 4 big majestic sculpture of great Gordian kings of a quarter 2 on the right and the 2 on the left strike the visitor of the museum. These sculptures of paper mache were made by Mongolian masters during construction of the temples. Opposite the entrance of the main temple is a gilded sculpture of Buddha with his 2 disciples standing by his side. On the right of the Buddha is a sculpture of Lobsang Khaidu. On the left is an embellished mummy of his teacher in Dzobkha Baltanchambal. In front of these 2 rows of so-called Javtansi table with the objectives of worship, musical instruments are placed. Above the seats are a tank cast with the images of a gods Yamantaka, Devi, Vajparani, Mahakali, Sita Chintamani, Sita Tara, Avaloki, Teshvara, Simatara, Amitaus, Vishnu. The mask for the performing tama or ritual dance for exorcising evil spirits are displayed in the 2 showcases. Tama was performed for the first time in Mongolia in the Erdinzo monastery in 1737, and since 1811 Tama became the traditional ceremony in the Ikhure, now is called Lambatar. The Mongols were masters of making masks of paper mache from ancient times. The masks made by masters of Ikhure were famous for skillful technique and expressiveness. One of the talented masters in making masks of paper mache was Pontsagosar. His masks of Bigd Dharmapala, one of the defenders of Buddhism, invariably attracts our sightseers. The mask of terrible Furious looks like an inlaid all over with coral and other precious stone. The works of Balang, the biographic cycle of Yamantaka Yasang Yatam Mater Aviti, represents the treasury of Mongolian art of wood carving. In this temple, Lobsang Khat of Choijinn went into estancias. In the showcases of the temple, bronze statue of Yamantaka and other Turtillarius are displayed. The outlook, symbolic and attributes of the Turtillarius correspond to their role assignment and hierarchies, the pantheon of Buddhist gods. Mongolian applique has the century-old traditions. The walls are adorned by the appliques of Ikhure school, Vishnu, Bidya, Vajradhara and Ganzai. One of the splendid masters of applique was Khasqamp. Under his direction, skillful embroideries worked, whose works are kept in our museum. The temple was built in the honor of the founder of the Buddhism, Sakyamuni, reformed by the Amdo Lama Tsottenkapa in conformity with the conditions in Tibet. Lamaism represented Mahayana. Tsottenkapa restored the main Datsang in Lhasa, calling it Tzu, and adorned Sakyamuni with the diadem. There are sculptures of Sakyamuni in the past, present and future, and sculptures of his two disciples made of paper mache. The temple is standing apart from others, enclosed by brick walls. It is a temple of the secret Tantra where common believers were not permitted. In the showcase from the right side are bronze statue of tantric gods Kalakara, Mahayama, Vajradhara and others with the consort Sakti. Among these, Sita Sambara of the famous Mongolian sculptor and consummate master Zanabazar stands out for its craftsmanship, simplicity and composition. Although being ecclesiastic, Zanabazar followed canons of Buddhist iconography, and he nevertheless succeeded to breathe life into his works, get over the fixed convention of canons, and founded Mongolian school of Buddhist art. In the showcase from the left side is a work of wood carving of Bigd Dharmapala made by talented master Surung. The objects of worship made at the end of 19th and the beginning of 20th century are in the ritual tables of the temple. The walls of this temple are adorned by the bas relief of the 16 apostles. In the showcase in the north part